What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? It's Monday, November 26th. You are watching the Low Shack and the Bag Early Show. My name is Jimmy the Bag, and I'm sitting beside, as always, Lodal's Low Shack. A very interesting weekend. The highlight of my weekend actually wasn't sports. It was meeting a fellow low bagger down at the Sheraton Casino. Shout out to my man, Rayhan. Had a great night with them. Very, very fun.
Great guy.
And Pete,
Great
Pete made an appearance at the Sheraton at the Sportsbook there. Man, it is a treat to meet our low baggers. Isn't it an absolute treat to meet these guys?
Yeah, absolutely. And they're just a wonderful person. If he's watching on replay, or if he's not watching at all, just an absolute wonderful person. I had such a great time. And then he kept saying how much he liked me, and I kept on telling him how much I liked him, and it was just a positive feedback loop that was just it was wonderful. It was wonderful.
It was. And Nutflush Allen going from one wonderful low bagger to
another guy.
Jimmy, just so you know, Skylar made you and Pete a spot at our family Thanksgiving dinner. She set up plates and all for both of you.
If I cry on camera, how will that do for ratings? Will that be bad or good for ratings? I'm like going to cry. Shout out to Skylar. Shout out to Nutflush Allen. Shout out to Nutflush Allen's whole family. And shout out to the entire Low Bagger family. We love you. Wow. That is absolutely true.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, wow. In MMA, though, Andy Maraca, he says, hope you all tailed that Ngannou play. Yes, plus 215, baby. That was I didn't know what to make of that fight, so I didn't give an official play on it. I wanted to discuss it out with Andreas Hale and a few other people, but last week was just too crazy. We didn't get a chance. And I did my play on the over in the Overeem fight was a loser, so I apologize if anyone tailed that one. Andy Maraca, though, said that he endorsed that one. You know, anything can happen. And the guy got caught. The guy was stepping up in class against Overeem, and he got caught. I thought it was going to go over the 1.5 rounds because Overeem has become more cautious and defensive in his career as he's gotten older, and the Sergey guy, as he was stepping up in class, was becoming more of a one-punch guy. So I thought maybe they'd be feeling each other out a little bit. Andy Maraca agreed, but again, in all sports and especially MMA, especially in all sports, anything can happen. And to anyone who tailed that one, I apologize. To anyone who tailed Andy Maraca on Ngannou at plus 215, congratulations! Shout out to Andy Maraca.
And right here, my man Moshe Bogarat saying huge shout out to Kylie Reynolds. Kylie Reynolds, great beloved low bagger, came in here Friday and dropped a 3-dog 25-1 UFC parlay that hit. And Moshe says you can't put a price on the value of this low bag community. Gotta love everyone here.
Yeah.
What a guy, Moshe, and what a guy, Kylie.
Really is true. All right. So, through the ups and downs.
Underdog.
What happened? What
where
happened?
can I send my first official video pic?
Right here. We're telling what the address is, or how do they do that?
Yeah. We'll get Rafa. If you could get Larry, what is the link? Can you get the link? If you could get Larry to get us the link for to show exactly where to send it and everything. But if you have any problem, Underdog, just hit me on Twitter. But that's exciting! Wow, an underdog video. Ooh.
Yeah, and shout out to Jimmy the Bag for nailing Calgary -4 in the Grey Cup. Very nice job.
I did, though. I didn't bet that.
Oh, why not?
Did you see my?
Okay,
I made an official play. I actually took the Stamps to win by 1 to 6 points at plus 300. Decided to go for a little score on my actual bet because I couldn't get 4. I could only get 5, and I was like, you know what? And if it wasn't for Harris throwing those picks down the stretch, I mean, God, we had very nice opportunities to get within 6, but so I did not win my bet.
All right, that's okay.
But
Jim.
you haven't added that to my CFL.
What?
You haven't added that to my CFL record, the loss, because I made it an official play.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, so you got both of them as official plays then?
Yes.
All right, sure. I'll add that loss. Sure.
Because I need the record to put up my final season record.
Paulo Marquez says, why 2 dislikes and the show not even started? What the fuck? Haters. We know that. The haters are back, which is probably a good thing, a good sign. For a while, the haters had disappeared, but apparently 2 dislikes and show not even started. Those are the haters. They're jealous. Let's see. What else do we want to get to? And then let's get into the handicapping, Jim.
Let's get into handicapping. But Bill Butlicker, 2 for 6 in props this week after just nailing them week after week after week after week after week. My biggest play on Odell blew up in my face today. I'm feeling a Bill butthurt. Can Pete give me some words of encouragement in an Anunnaki language?
Oh, no, I can't think. It's Monday morning. That's a little bit of an intense request for a Monday morning. Bill Buttlicker, here, I'll give you some words of encouragement. Your freaking prop plays are unbelievably good. And, when you think about it, I mean, the losses will always come. Let's say you're hitting, I would say this. Let's talk about NFL props for a second, because as we know, in the major markets, prop markets are a lot more beatable than the sides and totals totals, which is why the limits are so much lower, because the books know that they can be beat. Now, if you really know what you're doing when it comes to NFL props, you can pretty confidently expect to hit, maybe upper 50s if you're really, really, really on the ball, maybe 60 or 60%. But even if you're doing that, if you have a coin flip, it's going to flip heads 60% of the time, you're going to have 40% losses. You're going to have, chance dictates, the odd 2 and 6 week here and there. So I don't even feel like I have to give Bill Butler any words of encouragement, because he's doing fine. He's doing his thing, right?
Yeah, he's a monster. There's our man Rayhan, who we talked about off the top, joining us in the chat. Good morning, my peeps. You guys are awesome. Hope you all had a great weekend. Ski Profit in the house joining us. Hit a plus 4,000 parlay.
Man.
Ski Profit. And that was the second in a row.
Yes.
Second in a row.
Very nice.
This guy's hammering things.
Kobe Valentine already starting out with some picks, and we will get to that. I'm copying and pasting Kobe Valentine's picks right here. Wofford plus 8. I was thinking about that one myself. I actually got it at 9. We'll talk about that one in a second. TCU minus 13 is very interesting. Leo Mack hitting us up with some soccer plays. Let me see. What else do we have here? Shout out to Annie Marak for Naganu. Let me see. Let's see. Bookie Lover Q says, Pete, is that Ralph Lauren? I don't know. Let me see. I'm just looking. Pink Eye Genie likes Wofford. All right. Do you want to get into...
Yes, let's get to work.
Let's get into it. All right. Let's start with NHL, Jim. Again, I only had a chance to look at the lines that had overnight lines. So about 2 or 3 of the games didn't have them. Let me just pull up my sheet here. But there's a couple of plays that I'm thinking about here.
But first, let's see that NHL record.
Yeah, we can throw the NHL record up here. I don't know, man, because it's great. It's amazing. But we're gonna have to show all the other records, which are not looking good for me. But yeah, we're doing very well in NHL, and my leans are up like 60. I'd be pushing 100 units if I gave all my leans in NHL.
That is a spectacular record.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of double ups on that too, like first half team total and full game overs and stuff like that. First period. All right, Boston, Toronto. Right, Boston. Are they still banged up, Jim?
Badly.
Toronto started winning at home. Is Toronto -1 a no-brainer play here? And I was also thinking Boston team total under.
Yes, I think we switch. Before, and Kobe, who's in our chat, we talked a lot about fading the Leafs at home, betting on them on the road. I switched that. I faded the Leafs twice in a row on the road to very nice scores against the Hurricanes.
Can I say one quick thing? Sure. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just saw Dan Kelly is posting comments and plays in our comment section.
Really?
I just want to say, Dan Kelly, thank you so much for being part of the Low Bag chat. Thank you so much, Dan Kelly.
Where are they?
I love you, Dan Kelly. Don't worry. I just wanted to give Dan Kelly a little...
But I need to see them.
Shout out of thanks. It's about NBA, though, so let's go.
So what does that matter?
He says, I got on Boston, New Orleans over 225 a few minutes ago. It just moved to 228. Get on it at 225 or 226 if you can right now. Sorry,
Perfect.
that was a very a comment that needed immediate attention.
It needed immediate attention. Yes, it did.
All right.
Okay. So I switched that now. Back the Leafs at home. They're just 7-5 at home. Don't let that concern you at all. And fade them on the road. Leafs come home after back-to-back road losses, beat up the Flyers 6-0 on Saturday night. They're getting Austin Matthews back at some point this week from his shoulder injury. It won't be tonight. And William Nylander, we need to find out what's going on soon. If he's not signed by December 1st, he doesn't play in the NHL this year, so we expect to find out very, very soon. Other than that, this Leafs team is completely healthy. Bruins' last 5 games have all been decided by 1 goal. They've gone 3-2 in those games. They've scored just 11 goals in the past 5 games, scored more than 2 goals in the game just once. But in saying all that, they've been pretty... Oh, Greg Schneider saying, yeah, mics are a little fuzzy. Is that true?
Mics are fuzzy?
Mics
are fuzzy.
Okay.
All right. How do we fix that? Fuzzy mics. Everything good? Everything good.
Okay. All right.
Thank you very much.
Let us know. Let us know. Oh, Pete's mic's getting static from his beard. Okay. I'm going to keep rolling here. So they've scored. They've been very impressive while battling countless injuries. Bruce Cassidy has done a tremendous job. He says the team's growing in front of our eyes. I mean, it's just unbelievable that they'd be 13-6-4 with all the injuries that they've been through. And they did this last year. I don't know how they can continue doing this. Noli Knows says, thanks for the 2-teamer Friday night. I put 200 for a 580 cash out. Love hearing that. Noli. So back to this. Bruce Cassidy says, young guys that need to learn how to win. Listen, I don't want to call it playoff hockey in November, but we are in close games every night. To me, that's playoff hockey, and you have to be comfortable in these games. DeBrusk scored his 7th goal in his past 9 games, 10 on the season. He's on the line with Danton Heinen and David Krejci. That's their best line. That's just not going to be good enough. And Cassidy says it's by far our best line. Boston has Patrice Bergeron on injured reserve. McAvoy, Chara, and Vakanainen are on injured reserve as well. But they're going to get likely Brandon Carlo back tonight, which is a big deal. So they got Kevin Miller back. Now they're getting Brandon Carlo back. They're slowly getting healthier. All that said...
So they're not as banged up as they were.
They're not as banged up as that. But all that said, one thing that we've noticed with these teams with a lot of injury issues is that they've not been scored. Like defensively, you'd think, oh, wow, they're going to allow a lot of goals. They haven't been. They've actually been allowing less goals, but they're not scoring many goals because they're not getting those outlet passes. They're not handling the power play as well as they have been. Eddie Oilers says Bruins have gone under 5 in a row. Daryl Lyle says, I'm on the Leafs 6-1 straight up in the last 7 playing at home against the Bruins. I am on... Oh, and Chris Temple saying Nylander and Gardner will be traded to the Kings for Doughty. Oh, God. Oh, God, that would be the most wonderful thing to see Drew Doughty back in Canada playing for Toronto. Oh, my God, that just absolutely blows my mind. That would be so exciting. Okay, all said and done, I'm on the Leafs minus 1.5.
Go, Mr. Gokes, there are 2 top goalies here, lean first period under. I was thinking that way as well, and I was thinking Boston team total under. Is Anderson a top goalie, Jim?
Yes, definitely, yes.
All right, what do you think about Boston team total under?
Makes sense. It's what they've been doing, but you're going to have to pay a lot of dues.
No, you won't. 2.5 plus 100 or plus 102. All right, I'm going to take this great one again. I my leans. God, it really is true. My leans, and one thing I'm going to try to do is just not more. I'm going to try to be less neurotic in these shows with my picks. That means there's going to be a lot more losses, but hopefully a lot more winners as well. And again, if I had given all my leans in NHL, I'd be pushing 100 units right now. A lot of double ups and triple ups. I'm going to take the Boston team total under 2.5, and I'm going to take Toronto -1 as well. Jim's going to take Toronto on the puck line.
I am. And first, though, I'm going to shout out Sean Glass. Says, thank you, Jimmy. And I told Donnie also for the Audible. I had a great weekend. Head to Vegas with my son this evening, 19-year-old Air Force Airman.
Oh, very nice.
Let's make some money this week. Oh, congratulations, Sean, on raising a great son, being a great father, and enjoy your time in Vegas.
I couldn't have said it much better, any better myself. All right, Jim's going to take Toronto puck line plus 184, and I'm going to take Toronto -1. The money line is -143 at Bet Online and plus 184 on the puck line. And I'm also going to throw on the Boston team total under, which will be 2.5 plus 102 at 2.5 plus 102 at Pinnacle. I guess I'm just once again, I'm not going to overthink things.
Makes sense.
I'm not going to overthink things. It's just I'm not going to overthink things, but I am going to think about things. And a lot of times when you do have a team that's gone under, it's very tempting to just ride that train, and it's sometimes not the easiest thing. It's right when they're about to turn the corners when you start jumping on them, and that can be a mistake. You know what I'm saying? But it still feels like Boston's going to have a little bit of a problem scoring in the near future.
Mr. Gokes are saying, is Bergeron out? Yes, he'll be out for a month. And Sean Glass followed in his father's footsteps. Wow, that's a great, wonderful to hear.
All right, I'm taking Boston team total under 2.5 and Toronto -1. Mr. Gokster likes the first period under. And now let's move on to other NHL, Jim. Another play that is, another game that's interesting. The New Jersey, Florida, Washington Islanders didn't have overnight lines. I'll talk about them anyway. Ottawa Rangers. The Rangers are off of 2 road losses. And the problem is, you mentioned before that you thought that the Rangers were a team that was going to have problems scoring. But they have been winning at home. Ottawa has been a dead over team all year long. But is this maybe a spot where an under might actually have a little bit? Not really.
It might. No, it's definitely an exciting play. We just left there on the link. Hit that underdog, or anybody who wants to send videos to the Low Shack in the Bag show. That is the link. Please click on it and get it done. And we love it. We're so excited about hearing this opportunity. Kobe Valentine on the under 6.5 here. Let's just quickly...
He is. Oh,
yeah, no,
Florida,
not here.
Florida. Right.
Here on Florida, let's break down this game properly right now. Yes, we've spoken about the Rangers offensively, and I love their offense. It's just that with Zuccarello dealing with a groin injury, he is not someone that you can trust to get goals. He's just not this. Without Buchnevich and Zuccarello. Now, Zuccarello's coming back in this game. He's going to be back, but they're sitting him out every second game. I'm still concerned. Dionysus saying Ottawa is... Oh, no, sorry. Dionysus just took that back. New York on his first losing streak since last October, with a 4-3 shootout win in San Jose October 30th. Then they go 9-1-1. Now, in the last 2 games, they've lost 4-0 to Philly, 5-3 to the Caps. Kevin Hayes is rolling, 11 points in the last 10 games. Kreider as well is rolling. 11-game run. He got 8 goals and 13 points. They're going to get Zuccarello back. Senators have allowed 19 goals in their last 3 games. Are the Rangers the type of team that can take advantage of it? I don't know. The Senators allowed 54 shots on goal in their 6-4 loss to the Stars. Third time they allowed at least 50 shots. They've had a lot of time to not a lot of time, but that was Friday night, so they've been off for a few nights. This is a really tricky spot. Very, very tricky spot.
One of the things I love about this show is that, Jimmy the Bag, you have so much that you know about the NHL, so we can ask you general NHL handicapping questions.
Sure.
Now, when you see a team like Ottawa that just, they're giving up goals, they're scoring goals. For people who are wondering, Ottawa overall on the year, 17-4 over/under. Right? 17-4 over/under. At home, 8-3, away 9-1. Now, is that something that they are capable of changing, or is that just something that's going to go on forever because they're not capable of changing that?
That's a good question. First off, they traded Weidman for a 6th-round draft pick, so they just said, Weidman, we don't need you. We're going to move forward with our young defenseman. If you take a look at this depth chart, or even this, let's take a look at, actually, instead of their depth chart, why don't we just look at their top 6 defensive line combinations, So they got Shabbat and DeMello. Shabbat is going to be a great defenseman, and he may be already, but there's questions about him defensively. Then look at their second group. Look at these. So their rankings for their first, second, and third group on Daily Faceoff are their number 1 defensive pairs ranked 31st last in the league. Their number 2 defensive pair, La Hoya and Yaros, is 26th in the league. And then Harper and Ceci are 31st in the league. And I like Ceci as a shutdown defenseman. So this is just by far the worst ranked defense in the NHL, but they don't care. They want the number 1 overall pick. They want to get rid of all the old guys like Weidman, who are probably a little bit more responsible defensively, and they want to move forward with these young guys and learn the ropes. So I don't see this changing anytime soon because they can score. Mr. Gokster says Shabbat just makes bad mental errors defensively. He does, but this guy can score. First-round draft pick for a reason.
So they're not even going to try to get better defensively.
They are with a young group. They're not going to try to fix it with some older, more responsible players.
Mr. Gokster says, I don't think that will change, Pete. Okay, all right. And then the next game, any pick for you on the Rangers game?
I'm interested in the Senators here. I actually am interested in the Senators here. A few days off, on the road together. What would I get on the Senators?
Plus 130.
That's probably not enough, but yeah. I have some interest in them.
All right. And then the only other game that had an overnight line was Columbus-Detroit. Both teams have been playing well and winning. Both are of a loss. I was thinking, as a home dog, Detroit has been very good recently, right?
Yeah.
Especially as a dog at home. Detroit probably small value, and I was thinking leaning under by the 6. What do you think? No
I
under?
would definitely lean the under. I looked at it this morning and thought about it. Jackets coming off 4-2 loss at Pittsburgh. Atkinson extended his goal streak. That line of Panarin and Dubois and Atkinson is just rolling. But they aren't getting enough scoring from others. What happened to Alexander Wenberg?
I don't know.
2013 first-round pick. After that 2016-17 season, he scored 59 points. Only got 13 goals, but 59 points. I was like, God, this kid's going to be a stud. He's 1 goal in 23 games this year. I bet you Torts is all over him, in his ear. I bet you he's questioning everything. They're just not getting offense from anyone else but that first line. This team is completely healthy and should roll. Detroit lost 3-2 to the Sabres in the 7-round shootout. 37 shots against Buffalo. Special teams are now letting down the Red Wings. And they've got great coaching, but they're really being let down by their special teams. They allowed 2 power play goals and were 0-4 against Buffalo, so that's why they lost. Now they've gone 5 games without a power play goal and are 1 for 19 in the past 8 games. You can't back a team in the NHL that aren't getting it done with special teams. I'm not taking the Red Wings here. The Jackets actually do look interesting to me, appealing to me, because the Red Wings aren't doing it on special teams. Chris Temple saying the Blue Jackets are a good team. Mr. Gokster on the Blue Jackets puck line. I don't know if I'd go necessarily that far, but this is a time that you're actually probably going to get value fading the Red Wings at home because they're just not doing it in special teams when it's so crucial to do it there.
All right, well, I'm going to take the under. It's 5.5 juice to the over, so I'm going to be able to buy the 6 minus 114 at Pinnacle. That's going to be a play for me. Columbus, Detroit, under 6 minus 114, and I'm almost thinking that buying to under 6.5 at just minus 138 might be worth a shot as well.
But that's wild.
Those
are both really good plays.
6.5 minus 138 as opposed to a 6.
Jimmy Howard's playing so well. Kobe Valentine said they play tight games. Generally, they do. That sounds like a great play. Absolute great play. I'm going to jump on that under 6.
You want it at minus 114? Yeah. All right, Jim's going to take Columbus, Detroit, under 6, minus 114. We'll see how this turns out. I'm going to go with this pick, but my lean buying, my point buying lean would be to go to 6.5 minus 138, because I could easily see this one 4-2 Columbus. Easily see it 4-2
with
Columbus.
the empty netter shirt.
Yeah, something like that. All right, so and Mr. Gokster likes Columbus here, huh?
He does, and I can't wait to get to NBA right now. So I know that these 2 games didn't have an overnight line.
Go ahead, you got to pick on
them. I'm close. It's concerning, I think. I think there's going to be offense in the Devils-Panthers game. Reimer is in goal, and I don't trust Reimer, but generally when Luongo's back and Reimer's just in once or twice a week, he does play better. It concerns me that Kobe likes the under 6.5 because Kincaid even seems like he's coming back down to earth. 2 last place teams. Devils last in the Metropolitan Division with 21 points, 2-9 on the road. What's wrong with either? Let's figure out what's wrong with these teams. What's wrong with the Devils this year? They're completely healthy. They're getting no secondary scoring. Kyle Palmieri got off to that incredibly hot start, completely shut down. Last year's MVP Taylor Hall has no power play goals this season after getting 13 with the man advantage last year. Corey Schneider's been a disaster returning from injury at 0-5-0. Panthers are in last, so that's what's wrong with the Devils. Maybe they're just not strong enough moving forward, and that's very reasonable. Maybe this team had Butcher coming in with all that excitement coming out of college, stepping up. Maybe they're just not that good of a hockey team. Now let's talk about what's going wrong with these Panthers. Panthers are last in the Atlantic. They allowed the Brinkat score 1.8 seconds left of regulation to tie before the Blackhawks beat the Panthers in overtime. If you ask me what's wrong with Panthers, first thing that's wrong with him, Aaron Ekblad has not become the player we expected when he was drafted number 1 overall. I thought the Panthers were getting Hedman, another Hedman, and he's just not stepped up. Number 1 overall pick in 2014. He's not being a Hedman. Then Trocheck injury hurts him tremendously, but in all fairness, the Panthers had ugly numbers when he was healthy. Florida's allowing 3.62 goals a game. They're offensively doing fine at 3.24 a game. Panthers rank second in the NHL in most shots on goal per game. So we saw the Hurricanes doing that and taking care of business. So why are the Panthers not taking care of business? They have a great power play. Hoffman's rolling. Their penalty killing is bad. Only 3 teams have worse penalty killing. Both these teams I expected more from this year, and I'm unsure if we're going to get them. Mr. Gokster says Florida should not be a big fave. Listen to what has been happening in the NHL over the last few weeks. Every bad NHL team on a back-to-back that gets killed the first night has come back and won that second night. It keeps happening time and time and time again. It just happened with the Canucks. They lose 4-0 to the Sharks. They go into LA and beat them easily 4-2. Then the Kings lose 4-2 to the Canucks, come back and beat the Oilers 5-2. Is this the exact same spot for the Devils after getting beaten up badly last night by the Lightning? Are they going to come back and beat the Panthers? This is a very interesting game. Red Girl says Devils game under 6.5 is the play. That's same with Kobe. I'm not making that play.
They're liking the under here.
Yeah.
Let me just go back. One quick thing. I'm thinking more and more about taking a shot with Ottawa. Is Ottawa that bad of a team, Jim?
That bad defensively, but they're that good offensively. And when they play a team that can't take advantage of the defensive woes, then they have value.
The defensive woes.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to take a shot with Ottawa -1. Are the Rangers one of those teams?
Now, they're going to get Zuccarello back tonight. Right. We'll see if he's flying. But without Zuccarello and Buchnevich, they are not one of those teams.
They are not one of those teams, right. All right, I'm going to take a shot. I'm going to take a shot here with Ottawa -1. I'm going to take on the -1 line. The money line that I will get for Ottawa right now will be +135. That'll be at Bet365. And the alternative puck line that I will use from Bet365 as well will be +325. So I'm going to take a...
Jin Rummy got the over 6 in the Panthers at +105. Incredible. That's absolutely incredible spot.
All right, so I'm taking...
Oh, and look at Cash Wood. See, you guys? This is so important for us to remember these trends. Cash Wood says, Jimmy, that's my favorite situation to bet in hockey. Back a team on their second game of a back-to-back after losing the first game. Thank you, Cash Woods, for verifying that. You know, that just seems like it's a huge opportunity to make money in the NHL right now.
And then let's talk about Washington Islanders. I was thinking, though, there has been a 10-cent move in the Islanders' direction, and I didn't look at this in depth because there's no overnight line, but I was thinking probably the Islanders would be the play here, no?
I think the Islanders are the play. Is Greiss? We need to know if Greiss is in goal.
Yes, confirmed. Well,
beautiful.
Confirmed, yeah.
Beautiful. Barry Trotz is going to receive his Stanley Cup ring. These guys are going to want to play for him tonight. Trotz is the first coach to leave a cup-winning team for another head coaching gig since Keenan in 93-94. Capitals have won 5 straight. Capitals are just 3 points ahead of the Islanders. This is a good team. It's amazing that this Capitals runs coincided with Kuznetsov and Oshia with concussions. But the reason why I can't back the Islanders, and they'll keep coming back to this, is Andrew Ladd, Matt Martin, and Casey Zitkis are all on injured reserve. I would say they're 3 most important defensive forwards. They're all tough, responsible, and will be dearly missed. And because of that, because they're out, it makes me want to take the Capitals. I just don't know if we have enough value taking the Capitals.
But how long have those guys been out?
Well, they tried. Zekas came back and is out again.
Right.
How long? I guess 4 games, maybe 5
Right, so
games?
their last 2 games, they won as a dog.
That doesn't matter.
Right.
That does not matter.
I'm just pointing it out.
If you don't have defense, your most important, big, tough, strong defensive forwards, you are going to get hurt. You are going to get hurt in the long run. You're going to get hurt against teams like the Capitals. These guys are they're Trotz kind of guys too.
Right.
That I know that Trotz is absolutely in love with these guys, especially Matt Martin. Matt Martin's one of the toughest guys in the NHL. If the Islanders had those three guys, I wouldn't think twice I'd have the Islanders -1.5. Without those guys, I'm a little uncomfortable. Now Tom Wilson's by far the toughest guy on the ice for the Cap. So I'm a little uncomfortable with that spot. And I'm off of it right now. And I won't back the Islanders without those guys.
And when guys like that are out, does that affect offense or defense, or how does it make you lean as far as totals or scoring is concerned?
I think there will be more scoring without those guys in the lineup. More scoring in the game.
Because I was thinking about a shot with the under on this one too, but maybe that's a hasty
Far shot
thing.
of Tommy likes the over 5.5 for the Islanders game. Mark Schill in New York, Washington first period over, like it. He loves it. Bob saying Caps are on fire. Listen, you can't expect defensive responsibility when your best three defenders are out. And the Islanders are going to play hard tonight. They want to do this for Trotzy. They're going to play hard. I think they're going to score goals. Dom Reach said Isles +150 versus the Devils the other day. Watch the whole game. They all played Devils most of the game. Yeah, the Devils are questionable. But beating a team like the Devils is very different than beating a team like the Capitals who have all those intangibles, even without Kuznetsov and Oshie.
So you think there's going to be scoring here?
Bookie Lover Q says, Jimmy, did the Caps like Barry T? Yes, they did like Barry Trotz. Yes, he's a extremely likable guy.
All right, so I guess that's it. Jimmy the Bag is going to be on Toronto puck line, and he's joining me on Columbus Detroit under
And Dom
6.
Ricci's on the over in Capitals Islanders.
Okay.
I think that makes sense. What would we get that at?
The over in Capitals Islanders. Let me see. Well, you can get a 6.5, or you can get 6 -125.
Oh, that's too much. That's too much juice for a 6. Yeah.
Okay, Jimmy the Bag is on Columbus Detroit under 6 and buying 6 -114 in Toronto puck line +184. I'm also on the Columbus Detroit under 6. I'm also going to take Toronto -1, and I'm going to take the Boston team total under 2.5. And I'm taking a shot with Ottawa -1 as a big dog, although not as big as a dog as I would have liked. But again, if they win, it's probably a higher scoring game. They give up a lot of goals, they score a lot of goals. So I'm taking a shot with Ottawa there -1, and that's it for NHL. We did it, Jim.
Beautiful.
All right, you want to move on to NBA?
I do. Look at Miss J. Took Flames puck line and Nashville puck line yesterday. Beautiful.
Very nice. All right.
Yes, and I want to see my NBA record.
Here we go. Yeah, we're doing this for Jim. Look at Jimmy the Bag. Unbelievable. Very, very nice job, Jimmy the Bag. Very, very. Why, you're expecting even better?
No. I knew I was around there. I just it's a nice start, but I wouldn't say it's unbelievable when you're sitting at +29.5 units in NHL.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. It's solid. I like it.
All right, so NBA, once again, I'm going to wait until the afternoon shows, and some of my leans in NBA have actually been doing okay recently, so maybe I'll start trusting my leans a little bit more. In today's game, in today's card, we have a lot of stuff from Dan Kelly that he's already hit us up with.
And he just is adding more right there.
Dan Kelly, I love you, and that is 100% true, Dan Kelly.
It's true.
All right, enough. Let's move on. But I had to say it one more time. Milwaukee and Charlotte. Charlotte's off a 1-point loss at Atlanta. I was thinking Charlotte first quarter might be good. What do you think, Jim?
I want Charlotte all game. Again, mistakes. Mistakes by me not jumping on my 2 plays in the morning. Both lines. I could have got the Charlotte Hornets at 5 points +5. Now I have to deal with 4.5. That bothers me. I think that I might even try buying to 5, in fact, because I just like that 5 points. It makes me feel very comfortable. Dan Kelly's on full game. Cleveland Cavs +6. First half Pacers team total over. First half Pacers money line. First quarter Spurs -1.5. Full game Magic money line +300. He's on the Celtics Pelicans over 225, and he's parlaying the Bucks and the over. But he doesn't like parlays, but likes them if they're correlated. I want the Hornets here. Let's break down this game and explain exactly why we like a team like the Charlotte Hornets against a team that's very scary in the Bucks. But remember, Bucks are 14-5, only 4-3 on the road. Hornets are on the second half of a back-to-back, losing 124-123 last night in Atlanta. Hornets have now lost 4 of 6. Tony Parker dealing with a rib injury. He may be available to play tonight. In fact, saying that stuff out loud, this is one of the reasons why I don't make plays early, is I need Tony Parker back. We talked about it on the show on Friday, I believe, about how much better the Hornets are when Walker is off the ball offensive force. On the ball, if you can give the ball to Parker, let Walker find space, then he's an offensive dynamo and he's someone to trust. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist missed 6 straight games. That's not a big deal. These guys met in the season opener. Kemba Walker outscored Antetokounmpo 41-25, but the Bucks won 113-112. Antetokounmpo 25 points, 18 boards, 8 assists in that game. Bucks are coming off very interesting game, 135-129 over San Antonio. He 34 points, 18 boards, 8 assists. Antetokounmpo just 5 for 45 from 3 this year, but just stop taking threes and focus on everything else that he does. 4-2 homestand for the Bucks. They're 5-0 in games immediately following a loss. We just heard what Cash Woods likes hammering, which makes so much sense to me in NHL. This is a thing we got to remember with the Bucks. 5-0 coming in off of a loss. My man Rayhan says Matthew Dellavedova stepped in, hit some big buckets, gaining more trust. Bucks are so much deeper. Ersan Ilyasova missed the Spurs game with a right knee injury. Could be back tonight. DiVincenzo remains out with a quad injury. Bucks are going to be without Henson until after the All-Star break, so we're going to see a lot more of Thon Maker. Ski Prophet says, agree, Jimmy. I think Tony Parker plays. He's listed as probable. If he's there, then I do like the Hornets to bounce back on the second half of a back-to-back. The problem is the Bucks love to run. The Bucks love to run, and the Hornets are on the second half of a back-to-back. That does make me a little uncomfortable. Rayhan's also won the Bucks first half. That does make me uncomfortable. All this stuff makes me uncomfortable, and maybe that's why I like saying these games, talking them out loud before I make them. But what would I get on the Hornet? Could you find me a +5?
I mean, if you wanted, you could buy to it, Jim, because we are doing that. As of right now, no, there's no 5s, but you could probably buy to 5 for like minus. I'm predicting at Pinnacle, I could give you 5 minus 112 is what I'm predicting here.
I would love that.
Let me see. We can start buying and selling points more. You got to be very careful. Let's see. Right now, Pinnacle has 4.5 minus 105, but you could buy to 5 for minus 115. All right, more than
I'll take that.
You want that one?
Yeah.
You want 5, huh?
I do.
Okay. Jimmy's going to take Charlotte +5 minus 115. Buying to 5 minus 115 at Pinnacle.
Rayhan saying Parker and Monk off the bench will be lethal. We've not seen them for a while. They both will be very well rested. Cash Woods on Magic +8, Hornets +5, and both money line. I think you'll hit at least one of them. Wow. So we have Cash Woods and Dan Kelly both liking the Magic on the money line. Extremely interesting after an impressive win in LA. We will get to that game.
The Magic. Yeah, I was thinking that as well. All right, we will get to that one. And then
Hal Abraham says, Jimmy, don't go up against Dan Kelly. I'm not. Dan Kelly's all first quarter.
Ralph Portuondo also likes the under, which is what I was thinking about as well. But again, this is like Ottawa,
he's not even on. Sorry, he's not even on. He's only on the Pacers. I'm not going against Dan Kelly in any of this.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, no, I just wanted to say that I was leaning under as well, but Milwaukee's a little bit like Ottawa of the NBA, right? They've just been a dead over team, and, it's just tough to take an under in any situation with Milwaukee, but Ralph Portuondo likes the under.
And they're going to be sprinting up and down the floor to
think
get,
so?
Especially with the team on the second half of a back-to-back. Budenholzer's going to want them sprinting to that three-point spot, taking quick shots nonstop.
So then why does Ralph Portuondo like the under then?
That's a question that Ralph Portuondo needs to
only
answer.
Ralph Portuondo needs to look inside of Ralph Portuondo and come up with the answer for that one. All right, so let's
Dan Kelly says, I love it when I'm faded or laughed at. Dan, you're neither here, and I'm not fading you by taking the Hornets.
I like to laugh at Dan Kelly's picks just because he likes it when his picks are laughed at. So I'm trying to make him. I'm trying to please him. You know what I'm saying? So from now on, I will try to laugh at Dan Kelly's picks more just because I know he likes it.
He does.
All right. So let's see. Rayhan Hyder says under is a nice play. Okay.
And Dan Kelly likes Bucks and the over. Okay.
There
and
you
that,
go.
sorry, you're right. That was the parlay. But is
right.
that's going to be Bucks money line? I'm assuming. Dan, could you help us? That's going to be Bucks money line, I'm assuming. And if it is, then we have nothing to worry about. Ty Clinton says, good call on the Lakers Friday. I'm starting to feel like I'm reading this team pretty well, with a lot of help from these great cappers that we roll with, especially Ski and King and everyone. But I'm starting to feel like, and Teddy B, who knows that Lakers team inside and out. Rayhan knows this Lakers team inside and out. I'm going out with Rayhan again Friday night. We'll be talking about NBA the whole time. I'm starting to get a good feel, but let's keep rolling.
All right, another game that you want to talk about, Jim. What do you want to talk about? Minnesota, Cleveland. Cleveland playing well. I was thinking Cleveland again. Minnesota trending under. I was thinking Cleveland and under.
This is a game we watched together on Saturday night. The Wolves have won 5 of 7 without Jimmy Butler. We watched both of those games. And shout out to Rayhan. He had the Bulls' first quarter against the Timberwolves at +3.5. That cashed right in front of us. Minnesota is winning by an average of 11 points on this run, winning 5 of 7. But remember, they're just 1-8 on the road. They should not be trusted on the road. Miss J says Bucks aren't hitting threes lately, but they do run. They do. Oh, he did lay the -4. Okay, you're right. Then, Hal, you are right. I am going right up against The legend Dan Kelly, not a place I like to be. Since the Butler trade, Towns averaging 22.4 points, 14.9 rebounds. That's the big stat. It's not the points. It's that he was so questionable whether he'd be on the glass with Butler in his ear. Butler's starting to remind me of Tortorella. With Butler gone, he is on the glass, playing well. In their 111-96 win over the Bulls on Saturday night, they held Chicago to just 17 points in the fourth. Derrick Rose continues to play great, 22 points after getting 25 Friday in Brooklyn. 9 games with at least 20 points, averaging 19.5 points while playing 30.2 minutes. I did not expect that this year. Cavaliers have won. Oh, and Dan Clay says, if I like the Bucks, I would have said I like the Bucks. I only like the parlay. If it goes over, the Bucks should get it. So you're not fading me exactly. Okay, thank you. That gives me a little bit more warmth. Andrew from Rayhan, Andrew Wiggins scoring 27 points per game on 50% field goal against the team that traded him before letting him play a single game for them. In their 4 wins, Cleveland out-rebounded the opponents by an average of 12. Interesting stuff. I don't see them having an advantage on the boards, especially with Saric getting more run. I agree with that. 14 rebounds last game. Towns 7th in rebounding. I agree with all that. Rayhan says, I'm all over Minnesota. Took the -4, bought the point.
Wow, really? Ray had all over Minnesota, huh?
Cavs have won 2 straight. First winning streak of the season. Followed up that 121-112 win at Philadelphia. I was on the first quarter there. It's not everyone's saying what a great play that is. It's a great play if I mix in a little money line or add the fourth quarter. It was just a good play. 117-108, also home win over the Rockets. Cavs are 4-8 under Drew. They've split their last 6 games. Now, we watched this game very closely, Rayhan and I. My God, all we could talk about was Colin Sexton. He looked so good.
Yeah.
He looked so good, and still just 2 assists. Still just 2 assists. He got 29 points, long arms. I think when Hill comes back, they got to move Sexton over to the 2. Stop. If he's not going to distribute the ball, don't play him at the 1. But they have Clarkson there. He added 20 with 12 in the fourth. This team is playing well. Joe Anisi says, I love Minnesota too.
Bookie Lover Q says Rosentaj hate the Cavs. I'm leaning Minnesota, and Ralph Portuando likes the under in the Cavs game. I was thinking that way as well. Although again, this is maybe is the train going to end in a minute because Minnesota has been a dead under trender recently. The market will adjust. I was thinking under, and now I guess if people are really liking Minnesota here, maybe Cavs team total under. What about that?
Well, I'll tell you what. I was very interested in the Cavs coming in.
Oh,
here.
man, it's down to 214 now. Fuck, I liked it at 216.
I was extremely interested in the Cavs coming in here, and I've been talked off listening to these guys. Corey Simmons, nice to have you, buddy. And then Big Joe Capper. I've taken $1,700 for my bookie this year, but only up on him about $200 this year. I got him hard the last few weeks of football season. Keep it up, Big Joe. Keep it up, my man. All right, yeah, I was very interested in the Cavs. I've been talked off of it.
All right, I'll take the under, and I'm going to have to take it at 214.5. The Pinnacle line is -106, so I'm going to take the Cleveland game under 214.5 -106. I liked it at 216, and now it has gone down. I'd also be leaning, maybe first half under as well, and the Cavs team total under. We got a lot of games, other games we want to get to, Jim. Let's talk about Orlando Golden State. Why not? Dan Kelly says that maybe Orlando on the money line has a little bit of value. Orlando catching a lot of points here, and Golden State, are their problems fixed or not?
Well, no. I mean, who cares if they've won 2 straight? They need, but Draymond Green might be back.
Right,
Warriors
day to day, I've read.
Yeah, Warriors have beaten the Magic 10 straight. Magic on the second half back-to-back, very impressive. They've been very impressive lately. Now, they are on the back-to-back, but it's a little different than what we usually have. It was an afternoon game and then just a 1-hour flight. I think that's part of the reason that people are liking them. Let's hear what Dan Kelly has to say. One thing we have seldom mentioned here, when you are making a bet and getting plus odds, the bigger those odds, the less chance you have of winning the bet. But that doesn't make it a bad bet.
Right. Yes.
Absolutely.
And in fact, it also makes it a lot harder to eyeball whether you made a bad bet or not. You see that a lot in MMA, right? A lot in MMA. You see these huge favorites, -600, -800, that shouldn't be that big of a favorite. And then, if you bet, an underdog and it loses at like +400 or +500, it can be a lot harder to eyeball whether you actually, in retrospect, probably made a bad bet or not, as opposed to just a coin flip, that, a bet that's -110 on both sides. That's a good point. That's a great point. Obviously, people who took the Knicks +14, was Dan Kelly one of the people who suggested that the Knicks?
He had them on the money line.
That's right. So in retrospect, probably that was a good bet. Although even that doesn't guarantee that it was a good bet. It just strongly suggests that it was a good bet. But even then, just because a big underdog wins doesn't guarantee that it was definitely a positive EV play in retrospect. All right, so Orlando.
Q also here liking Orlando. They're trying to win now. And then David Stewart says, Jimmy, I was really interested in the Cavs too, but then remember how Wolves beat the Nets. I lost on that. Okay, let's break down this game further. The Magic, we got a healthy group. Healthy group. Warriors will get Curry back at some point on this 5-game Eastern trip that's coming up after this game, excuse me. They're going to play one more home game without him. Durant is scoring again. He went 26 for 47 in the past 2 games, 32-44 respectively. He had been 2 for 22 on threes in his previous 5 games. I don't remember ever reading that about Durant. And Clay was sort of the same way, not quite as bad, but he's rolling now, 24 for 47, 9 for 21 on threes in those 2 wins, going for 31 each night. 2 wins came immediately after that first 4-game losing streak in the Steve Kerr era. 5 of the games also were played without Green. He's been listed as day-to-day. As you said, he could return for this Magic game. I feel like we need to know if Draymond Green's going to be in there to make a legitimate angle-wise bet.
Sure.
And until I know. And the problem with these West Coast games is we may not know by 6 o'clock Eastern. This is a tough spot. And the one thing I don't want to do is use what we saw last night from the Magic against the Lakers and have a bias because of it. And so by not making a bet in the morning and shaking it off and hearing what you guys have to say, that makes it easier for me. Bookie Lover Q makes a great point here. Nobody stopped Vucevic. No one's going to be able to stop Vucevic. They don't have Boogie yet, and their bigs are weak.
All right, so Dan Kelly, obviously, if he thinks that Orlando has legit shot or at least value on the money line to win this one, probably he thinks there's value on the spread as well, right?
Definitely.
All right, so do we want to pull do you want to wait till the 6 o'clock show?
Without doubt.
All right, Spurs in Chicago was the only other game that had an overnight line, so I did look at that one. The Bulls, of course, have lost 7 of 8 against the spread, but the Spurs are definitely struggling. I don't know. Spurs, I mean, the Bulls here, maybe?
I don't know if I can ever take the Bulls
No?
or ever have any confidence doing it until they get some of their guys back. I mean, the whole year without, Dunn played a game or 2, didn't he? But pretty much the whole year without Markkanen, Dunn, and Portis. Markkanen's closer to playing. Chandler Hutchinson also dealing with a back injury. Spurs have lost 8 of 11. They're an angry group right now. They're coming off blowing an 11-point fourth-quarter lead.
Is Pop going to make them clamp on defense here, or has Pop lost this team?
I don't think he's lost a team, but it's just not a very good team.
Right.
And Pau Gasol continues to be out of the lineup. I certainly wouldn't take an under until Pau Gasol comes back. Is this a simple spot for the over? We've already had, I forget now, I'm forgetting who said they love the over here. So a great NBA capper that we listened to.
Dan Kelly?
Oh, no, Corey Simmons, I think. It was Corey Simmons saying. Okay. Bulls Spurs over, yes. And Eddie Oiler saying last 4 Spurs Bulls game in Chicago have gone under. This is very different. This is a very, very different. Oh, and look, Rayhan all over the Magic if Green is out. That's exactly why we need to find out what's going on in that spot. I think, what is the total and what's been the movement in the Spurs Bulls game?
No movement, about 214.
I agree. The problem is the Bulls are just this Jekyll and Hyde team that puts up 40 in one quarter and 17 in the next. You just can't trust. Oh, Cup of Sun.
Oh, shout out to Cup of Sun.
Says, yo, guys, haven't been around a while, but wanted to drop you and tell you I took big time on KC plus 3.5 as they're driving in the first quarter. I bought Rams minus 3.5 and middled the whole game.
Shout out to Cup of Sun. Where is he, in New Orleans? I think he's in New Orleans. I got a memory. I got that memory. I think he's in New Orleans. Shout out to Cup of Sun. Cup of Sun, I could still use positive vibes my way.
Yeah,
if you got any, just send them. Just send them Cup of Sun. If not, no problem. But if you got them and don't have a few moments, send them my way. Would really appreciate a Cup of Sun. All right. I'm an inch away from jumping on Orlando here, +8 as an official play. Even if Green is back, is he going to be, he'll be 100%, yeah. Or they wouldn't have him back.
If you are taking the Magic, why would you, unless you think that Green is not going to play, make the bet now? Because as soon as they announce Green, you're going to get an even better line.
You don't think this assumes that he's not going to play?
No, I think this is about a back-to-back.
Okay, all right, I'll wait. The Spurs-Chicago game, again, what do you think, Jim?
Actually, maybe let's just talk about that. I just don't want to lead you wrong there. Do I think this line at 8 is without Green in it? I guess you're probably right. You're right. So maybe I guess I take that back. I think that you're right. I think that if...
Because he's been out.
Yeah, it's
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna need a little bit more.
Like if a guy's been out, then I would assume that he's gonna, unless he's announced in, the line will always assume he's out, continuing to be out.
I think you're right. So when Green is announced in, which I think is very likely with the last game of a home trip, because he's been working with his doctors for the whole entire 5 games.
Right.
So I think it is quite possible that he comes back against the Magic here, and if he does, then you're gonna get double digit.
Okay, all right. I'll hold off. I'll wait.
I'm not entirely like that's not a black and white thing, but okay. So here I do like the over. I do like the over. I think that the over is a spot here. I think Corey Simmons is bang on. The Spurs team's running wild and running fast. Why wouldn't they continue to do that, especially against a team they're much better on? I think the over is right here.
Q Peso, boss makes dollars, I make dimes, so I watch low bag on company time. Shout out to Q Peso. All right, listen, we got to talk about college basketball because there's a bunch of plays that I was thinking about adding on college basketball as well. What else would you like to? Bookie Lover says Green just had an MRI Saturday. That toe is sore. All right, let's and here we go. Smooth Moses, lunchtime soccer play. All right,
Yes. Okay, I'm going to take the Utah Jazz here in this spot. This Pacers team, even if they get their bigs back, they're hurting right now, and Gobert knows it, and he's going to put it in their face. Even if Oladipo comes out, I don't care. I truly don't care if the Pacers get any of these guys back. I think the Jazz are going to smash them. Oh, and Rayhan saying over is a great play. Both teams will put a point. The paint will be open both ways. Okay, sorry. Yep. Pacers dealing with ankle injuries to Turner and Sabonis. Oladipo, all three are questionable. Turner sat out against San Antonio. LaMarcus Aldridge completely dominated that game with these guys out, 33-14. The Jazz have lost 5 of 7. Donovan Mitchell may not be in the lineup. Even with Donovan Mitchell not in the lineup, you know what? I guess I should wait. Here. I just feel like this is a beat-up Spurs team. Bookie Lover says Pacers blew out the Jazz. Revenge. I agree. Sean Glass saying high altitude, great play. I agree with all this. I shouldn't get scared. Even if we are missing, even if the Jazz are missing Donovan Mitchell, I still think it's the play here. And is it 5.5 right now?
Which one?
The Jazz?
The Jazz, it's 5.5.
But Rayhan's right. They're playing their 4th game in 6 nights, whereas India's more rested. I'm going to wait. I want to wait and you're right. It's the 4th game in 6 nights. I still think they can smash. I need to wait and hear if all these guys are out of the lineup. I need to wait and hear. Frank Gonzalez says talk about the Rockets. I would love to talk about the Rockets because Rayhan and I watched that whole game from the casino. It was very ugly, very ugly. But okay, well, let's talk about these guys. Both these teams are a mess. But Rockets right now, they lose 116-111 to the Pistons on Friday, then 117-108 to Cleveland. Harden goes for 40, but no Chris Paul. Rested in the second game of back-to-backs. Gordon started in his place.
I gotta think the under is the play here. I know that Washington has hit 4 in a row over, and they're going high scoring. Is Washington just playing no defense now?
Washington is a very confusing team. It's a very confusing team. Chris Paul is still questionable. Dan Kelly says, wait till halftime if you want to bet on the Utah Jazz. That's interesting. Mark Stone says, stay off the Jazz, Jimmy. And Eddie Oiler saying the over is 5 of the last 5 home games have gone over. 400 says, I like the Wizards if Wall doesn't play. That's very interesting. This team also looks like the Rockets aren't going to have, well, Gerald Green and Chris Paul are questionable. Very important to find out what the hell's going on with them before we make a move on them. Anthony Davis was not in the lineup for the Pelicans when the Wizards beat them by 10, but Howard was out of the game too. Not that that's equal. Wizards got 39 points from their bench. Otto Porter, season high, 29 points. John Wall adds 22. Rivers adds 18 off the bench. Beal, 18 and 8. Porter made 11 of 14 from the field. Markieff Morris, 15 and 9 off the bench. Paulo Marquez says everybody on the Rockets. The Rockets look bad against the Cavs. We watched. They look bad. They just looked like they were incapable of doing anything defensively. And why would that change? Ralph Wanda's on the over 224.
Okay. All right.
This is going to take... Oh, and Rayhan says Chris Paul will suit up tonight. I like Houston, but I'm staying off.
So if Chris Paul suits up, that's better for the under, right?
Generally, with the Rockets, it is. But right now, against the Wizards team, Chris Paul may want to speed it up at times. But I guess he's not going to when he's banged up. Daryl Lyles is on the over Rockets Wizards. This is just going to take more time.
Okay. We do want to move on, Jim. So any other plays you want to lock in for NBA?
What would I get on the Celtics against the Pelicans right now?
The Celtics on the spread would be about 1.5 or 2. It's definitely been a big line flip because of Davis. It's now they opened as a dog. Now it's 1.5 or 2. They're the favorite. Yes,
and Jaylen Brown doubtful. Gordon Hayward out last game. I still feel like the Celtics need to impose their will on a team, and they need to do something. And maybe this spot on the road is a great opportunity for them. So Anthony Davis was questionable. Is he out now?
I thought I was seeing that he's in. Oh, and that's why the line flipped.
Okay. Sorry. So he is in.
Right.
Okay, this is another game that's going to take more time for me. But I do want to start with the Celtics calling each other out, saying we're playing soft and all that stuff. I expect Smart to step up. He says we don't impose our fear and will on teams. I expect him to do that at some point. Is tonight the night? Possibly. I'm going to keep an eye on the Celtics.
Okay, well, let's review all this in the afternoon show because we got to move on. We got to talk about NFL. Jimmy the Bag, you're doing great in NFL, right? I believe. How did your past weekend go? It's like 50-50, right?
It was tough. Yeah, 50-50. I thought the Raiders were such a good play, and it's a kid. Do we have the NFL record?
Yeah, we can throw it up there. I took a little hit with a couple of prop plays that I bet, but the one play that I really liked, which was Miami plus the points. What did I say? I said I thought that the Colts were going to win, but that Miami was going to cover, and I didn't wind up giving that one as an official play. But I talked about it, And now we have Tennessee and Houston. Houston second off the bye, beat Washington last game, but didn't cover. And of course, Tennessee got blasted by the Colts, and Mariota supposedly healthy for this game now. And what do we think is going to happen here? Texans minus the points seems like a good spot for them, no?
Interesting stuff from Leo Mack. It was just astonishing watching the Giants in the second half there. I just couldn't even believe the way they were playing. But we got to get to NCAA basketball. Cody Valentine says fade Cleveland next week. Baker taking shots at Hugh. Carmel will bite him in the ass. Very interesting stuff, situational stuff. And everyone letting us know that Davis is going to be in on this spot. Eddie Euler has a final score of 24-17. It's tricky with unders, and would that hit the under? Is that right where it's at?
Which one?
What's the under and what's the total at
42.5?
So it just barely hit the under. Elio was all over Miami, was his top play. He was also on the Miami money line. I was cheering for that.
Oh God, I wanted Miami. I had it. I just didn't give it. I talked about it. We talked about it on the. I told you, didn't I say it? I was like, I think Miami's going to cover, and then people were talking about are their offensive linemen back and this and that, and I just with all the craziness, there was no point where I made it an official play, so I don't get the credit for it. All right, let's go.
Marcus Mariota has made gambling on the Titans extremely difficult.
Yes.
And it's almost to the point where I don't want to bet a game because I don't know if he has any feeling in his hand. And he keeps making these things. He's making it sound like it's not a big deal. It was a stinger pretty much. This is from him. It's one of those deals again with your nerve, and the feeling down my right arm wasn't totally there. So it was one of those deals where you have to wait and see for the nerve to calm down, and things should be good. They say this injury is not related to the nerve injury he suffered in the season opener. I don't believe that at all. When you're dealing with a quarterback who may or may not have feeling in his hand, a quarterback who can be excellent, like we saw in that Cowboys game, I don't understand how you bet. I don't understand how you fade him or bet on him at this point. He's so tricky to figure out. I'm going to wait here. Darryl Lyles is on Texans -4. I can understand that, but and look at Pink Eye Genie says Gabbert will be in by halftime. It's just so hard to put your money on the line with a quarterback who has potential to be a good quarterback, a real good quarterback. Because let's say you take these quarterbacks out of it. I like the Titans as a team better than the Texans. But with these issues at quarterback, I just can't trust taking the Titans here. And then when BetOnline first released this spread, it was 6. And then when we got to Friday, there was 6.5. And now it's gone all the way down because obviously Mariota is good. Look at Kobe, you got Titans +7 on Saturday. So this is just, listen, I don't know. I guess I'm going to wait, get more information on Mariota. I want to hear him talk. I want to hear people talk about him. And then look at West Coast agrees. Says if Mariota gets hit early, he's out by halftime. How can you back an over? Because remember that Dolphins-Texans game? That went to 65 points. I don't think obviously the Dolphins are a much more offensive team than the Titans, or I should say have a much worse defense than the Titans. Maybe that's a better way of doing it. Reggie said, Jimmy, you are basically playing quarterback tonight. Yeah, it's not a spot I want to put my money on. I really don't want to put my money on this spot. It makes me so uncomfortable. Now, Al Hart has this very, very important note, I should say. The Texans owner just died. Is that a spot where you want to back the football team? A lot of people believe in that stuff. Do you?
I was looking to back the Texans anyway.
So this movement doesn't concern you?
I mean, I think it's all Mariota related, right? Isn't it? Yeah.
Darryl Lyles says Texans playing for Bob McNair tonight. So, Corey Simmons, watching line movements, and I like Houston -3.5, but I'm going to wait. Hopefully I get a 3. Wow. Cash Wood says if Mariota's not healthy, shouldn't the line have worked the other way? Absolutely. But can you trust that he's not going to lose the feeling in his arm again? I tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to put money on the Titans. Under any circumstances. I'm not going to put money on the Titans. And I'm afraid if I take the Texans, then Mariota looks great and dominant. I don't know. Dan Kelly says, I always fade that.
I mean, that's in his spreadsheet. You know what I mean? And if his spreadsheet tells him to do something, he does it. It might be a little uncomfortable. It might make me, give you some goosebumps, but Dan Kelly, he goes for the EV.
Noli Knows says something that I thought as well, but haven't been talking a lot about it. Says a lot of people didn't like the owner. And that is the story that I know of McNair not being alike. So we'll have to see. Dom Regis on Titans +4. Hey, it's always nice getting points. Bookie Lover Q says Titan receivers are not that good. I want Davis. I believe in Davis. And if he can start getting some momentum with the quarterback, I think he can put up nice numbers. I believed in Corey Davis since he got drafted, and it's blowing up in my face. Bob Ruby bought Houston at -3. That makes sense. Daryl Lyle says emotional game for Texans tonight. I've got to look into McNair a little more. Because if they hated the guy, then who cares? Al Hard says I might just pass on this one. It's a tricky spot. Let's move on to college basketball. Maybe we have a play on the late show.
So college basketball, there were a bunch of plays that I liked that have now moved against me. I like Nebraska. I got him at 4.5. And it's now down to 3 or 2.5. And I was thinking about Nebraska on the first half as well. I was also thinking about Louisiana Tech and the Louisiana Tech over. That one opened at 3. I forgot exactly where. I think I got it at 3.5, and now it's up to 4 or 4.5. And I would also be leaning over on that one and the first half over. And again, everyone was talking about Wofford. I got Wofford at 9. It's now down to 7.5 or 8. Wofford has played some tough teams. Tough teams are pretty tight this year, and I grabbed it at 9, and it's now down to 7.5 or 8. Then there's a couple of totals that I took that have actually moved in the opposite direction of the way I like them. I took the under in Nebraska, Iowa State at 148. That's now up to 150 or 150.5. And I also took the under in Boston College, Minnesota, also at 148. That's also up to 150 or 150.5. So I don't love seeing that one, but those moves. So those are the plays I was thinking about. A bunch of sides that moved in my favor and 2 totals that moved against me. I was also having a lean to Louisiana Tech and Delaware, but I guess a little bit more just to the Louisiana Tech team total over. Yes. And I was thinking also maybe about a shot with Murray State to keep it close against Alabama, although that has moved in Alabama's favor.
400 just said Murray State with an exclamation mark.
Yeah.
Corey Simmons on the Idaho State Pepperdine over 158.
See, that's not good. Idaho State Pepperdine. Okay, right. Let's see. Mr. Gokster, I'm on the under BC Mini as well. So why would the line have moved against us?
WW Train saying nice little shack. Nebraska defense is for real.
I also had a slight lean to the under on that game as well. So a lean to the Clemson
Reggie's
team total
also
under.
on Nebraska, Wofford, and Eastern Michigan.
Nebraska. Eastern Michigan is going to be a pass through, but Nebraska and Wofford, yes. Oh God. Let me see.
Corey Simmons liking that over a lot. I love it, Corey. I'm going to take some more time on it in the afternoon show. Mr. Gokster's on Murray State +9. Also loves it first half.
Mr. Gokster likes Murray State, really, and Noli Knows likes the under. Mr. Ghost like Eastern Michigan team total under. Yeah, they can disappear. The problem is TCU is just so, they have so many personnel issues. You know what I mean? They have guys who are injured, guys who are, young guys coming back in and coming in and out and mixing and matching. As a big favorite, it makes me nervous. Yeah, I could see the Eastern Michigan team total under, though. That's something for sure that I could see. All right, let me make some decisions here. Okay, I got Nebraska at 4.5, and I guess I will take them at, I guess I'll take them at 3, and I'm going to take them on the first half as well. I think I might like the first half even a little bit more. I'm going to take a Nebraska first half, and hopefully I can get a 2 here. Let's see what we can get. Yes, not really. 2.5 minus 149 at Pinnacle, or 1.5 minus 110. All right, I'm going to take Nebraska first half plus 1.5 minus 110. I'm going to take that. I'm also going to take Louisiana Tech first half, and that's going to have to be -2 minus 110. That's the current line at Intertops. And then Wofford, I'm thinking about Wofford on the first half as well as just a full game. 4.5 minus 110, or 5 plus 1, or 5 minus 130. And let me see. Yeah, Murray State. Mr. Gokster said he liked Murray State first half or full game?
Full game.
Okay.
And Kobe Valentine's on Murray State as well.
Yeah. I was thinking that too. I was definitely thinking that too. All right, so I'll just take Nebraska first half plus 1.5 and Louisiana Tech first half -2. I'm going to take some full games here as well. Let me see what I want to take here. I'll take Wofford +8. I'll take Wofford +8 -115. That's currently available at the Greek. Murray State, sure, I'll take them. I'll take Murray State, even though I don't like the line movement in Alabama's favor. I might pull this one in the evening show, but for now, I'll throw it on there. +9.5 -110.
Mr. Goekster's on both first half and full game.
For what? For Murray State? Yeah, I might add that one on myself. I'm going to take Murray State +9.5 -110, and then what else do we have? Nebraska +3. Nebraska's a tough team. See, maybe I'll just put it on the first half, and if it loses, then make a second half play and get a better line. And if it wins, just stick with that. But I'm definitely leaning Louisiana Tech on the team total over as well. And again, Nebraska Omaha and Iowa State under and Minnesota BC under. I don't like the fact that the line has moved the way that it has, but that's just the reality. Maybe I'll wait and think about it. Man, a big line move. Iowa State up to 151 at Heritage. And the Boston College game, 150.5. All right, I'll take the Minnesota Boston College under now, even though I don't like the line move. I'll take that one under 150.5 -105 at Intertops. Under 150.5 -105 at Intertops. Minnesota BC. Don't like the line movement there. I hate the line movement, actually. But I'll accept it. And I'll go against it. For now, we'll see. It could be a lot. If it comes back and it's 146 in the evening show, I'll look like a genius, won't I? A genius with some balls. Yes. Iowa State. I'm also leaning Iowa State under, and I'll take that one too. You know what? What the hell? NEOM, Iowa State. I'll take the under 151 at Heritage. 151 -110 at Heritage. I'll take that one.
Mr. Goekster also on the Santa Clara Cal unders.
Yeah, that one I would lean under as well, although it's just cutting a little bit close there. But I would definitely lean under as well.
Mr. Goekster backing Corey Simmons' play on the Idaho State Pepperdine over. Says even though the line is high, first half over, full game over, this should be a shootout. WW Train says no real thoughts on NFL tonight?
No, we do. We can go back to it. I just wanted to lock in some lines here.
Yeah, we can go back to it.
Yeah. The Nebraska-Clemson game over. Under, lean. Louisiana Tech team total over, lean. Any comments coming in on college basketball except for the endorsements of a few plays that I made?
Pink Eye Genie really liking Clemson. 2 comments here. He says Clemson at home, back from vacay, will be looking to roll. Clemson knocked out of the top 25, no respect. They will be looking to right that tonight. There's some points.
Wow,
there.
Kobe Valentine leading Wofford money line. I like them in this game a lot. Yeah, I wish I'd gotten the 9, but I'll take the 8.
Yeah, I think Pink Eye Genie said the same thing. Someone else said the same thing about liking that money line. I believe it was Pink Eye Genie at +300, right?
Which one?
The Wofford?
I don't know. But Mr. Goekster, we're head-to-head on Louisiana Tech. Wow, okay, I don't like to hear that, but okay. I'll go head-to-head on him, on it with him.
Red Girl on the under in Wofford. Yeah, Pink Eye Genie, Wofford +295. Cup of Sun saying, and the Texans tonight. I don't care if they were -6, I'll still take it. Ace Spitz like in Pepperdine.
Yep, Ron Lofton likes Boston College. I was thinking that way as well, but I'm just going to stick with the under for now. And Darryl Lyles liking Louisiana Tech Delaware over. And Miss J's on Nebraska. Yeah. I only took him first half. And if it is 4.5 right now, I'd definitely be on that one.
Yeah. Eddie Euler liking, says any thoughts on Louisiana Tech? So
yeah, I took Louisiana Tech first half -2 going head-to-head with Mr. Goekster. And then I'll probably have a second half play on that one. I took him on the opener line at I think I had 3.5. And now it's up to 4 or 4.5. And I was leaning over. Christopher Comatini over in Louisiana Tech. That's what I was thinking about. Bookie Lover says South Carolina getting a top player back. Yeah, that's true. But Wofford is a quality team here.
Yeah, I'm going to have to hammer these games in the afternoon.
All right. Don't kill yourself, Jimmy the Bag.
Cup of Sun likes Louisiana Tech over.
Yeah, and I'll add on the Louisiana Tech team total over as well. That's going to be 72 at -110 at Heritage. Louisiana Tech team total over 72 -110. I'll throw that one on. And I would also be leaning Boston College -1 against Minnesota. Minnesota's coming back from that tournament that they won. Boston College has a guard who can take over the game, and I'd be leaning that way, and I will take it. I'll have a little bit of balls. Nothing wrong with having a little bit of balls. If I get burned, that's okay. I'm going to take BC here -1, -105. That's current line at the Greek and Bookmaker and a few other places, so I'm throwing that one on there as well. BC -1, -105.
Al Hard wondering what your best college basketball play is.
Oh, geez. Well, I don't know. They're all kind of, they're all roughly the same, and I feel a little bit nervous about all of them, but willing to give all of them out. I guess, man, I don't know.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah, I really don't know. I really can't answer that question. Sorry.
No worries.
I know I should be able to, as a professional sports betting.
But maybe in the afternoon.
Yes, maybe in the afternoon I'll be able to answer that question. I should be able to answer that question, but I can't right now. I'm just throwing them all out there because I like them all a little bit, hoping to go 6-4 on all my picks today.
As you should.
Tweeted out 4 over the weekend, which was tailed by Maxwell Smart, and they went 3-1, although 2 of them were very close. But happy to have been able to help Maxwell Smart out a little bit.
Calvin Davis says TCU cover easy. Don't miss it, gentlemen.
Yeah, I mean, Eastern Michigan can completely disappear. Don't forget, Eastern. If you're wondering who's that team that scored 4 points in the first half against, I forgot who it was. I think it was Cincinnati.
Yeah,
that was Eastern Michigan. So yeah, it would not be surprised. Yeah, Eddie Euler says Blue Jackets wings under 6 looks good. We're both on that one. All right, Jim. You want to talk about the NFL game once again? You want to go back to it? Any other comments?
Sure. If people want to hammer it harder, J Max saying Texans Titans discussed already. Oh, and Yais Nebraska first half under parlay.
Yeah, I already took Nebraska first half, and I would be leaning under in that one as well. Though it's a very low total.
Very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I'm not going to be too much help on this game. I feel very uncomfortable making any bets that Mariota is involved in. So how am I supposed to look you guys in the eyes and tell you exactly what I think the best angle is when I have no idea when he's going to lose feeling in his arm? So because of that, I would say that the Texans are the play because there's a good chance that we'll see Gabbard out there playing poorly. But for totals, the reason why the total's so low, I think, is because there's a fear that he'll get knocked out and then the Titans won't be able to move the ball at all. With Mariota is using his feet, throwing all the way downfield. Like if you use the Cowboys game as the example, then this was a buy-on team. But then immediately the next game, he gets knocked out. And I'm not going to sit here and wax poetic bullshit about what I think is going to happen in this game when to me, the whole entire thing rests on one guy's arm that he feels sometimes and other times he doesn't. So I'm off the game. I can't make a play and put money on something where this is going on.
Well, but we might have some opinions and some more information in the evening show. Of course, Bill Butlicker might be hitting us up with some prop bets in the evening show, which have gone very well in general overall. Jimmy the Bag, let's wrap it up. We'll talk a lot more about the NFL game in the evening show at 6 o'clock Eastern time for sure. Anything else
more joining us late says, I'm on Houston at -4. Mariota won't run, dealing with injuries. Titans' interior of their offense line is garbage. Titans are overrated because they beat the Pats team that has struggled on the road. Those are good points. Those are good points, but they're succeeding here on the show and giving you guys winners is the most important thing in my life.
Yes.
So I just don't know what to do when we're dealing with this ridiculous situation where the quarterback keeps saying, "Oh, it's not that bad. I just can't feel my hand."
Well, what if you knew for a fact that he was 100%? Then what would you be thinking?
That it's an impossible thing.
But I'm just saying, if he's 100%, what then would Tennessee be able to do?
Well, that's the thing is if he is moving out of the pocket and forcing the Texans to put a spy on him, that takes one guy out of the middle of the field. And I know they don't have Delaney Walker to abuse that situation, but then those 10, 15-yard crossing routes are going to be wide open. They need to have somebody spying on. Mariota's got to scare them so that they basically take one player off of any kind of nickel coverage. So they'll line up with the nickel coverage, but they'll only use 4 guys to defend the pass because one guy has to worry about Mariota. So, yeah, if I knew that Mariota was completely healthy, I would take at +4.5, I would probably take the Titans. I think that's enough points for them to keep it close.
Mm-hmm.
But with Mariota probably getting knocked out of this game.
What are the negatives for Houston?
I don't know if there are that many negatives, although Clowney and Watt aren't the guys we remember them being. So Don't let a vividness bias make you think that this is the most dangerous defensive line of football because it's not. But, they're capable offensively, and again, after losing Fuller, they're not as capable as they were 2 or 3 weeks ago. He was an enormously important player. So this is a Texans team that is a tricky team to bet with, because we remember certain aspects of this team that aren't really as good as we remember them being. One, their offense; two, their defense. It's tricky.
Okay, there you go. A little bit more NFL analysis from Jimmy the Bag there.
R.S. Jacob says, Jimmy, you taking over from Morency. This is just brand new information that no one's actually told me about what's going on with Morency. No one's told me anything about him. And he's one of my heroes in life. And the fact that if this is true, that he's going to not be here, it makes me very upset that he's not going to be here, because he's easily one of the reasons why SBR is so special. So I don't know no one's told me anything about this. I don't know if anyone's told you about this.
Oh, they don't tell me
We
anything.
don't get told about this. So this is like rumors that I'm starting to hear. And Gabe Morency's one of my fucking heroes in life. I don't care about meeting anybody famous. When I'm around him, I get so excited. I just want to spend time with him. And he's been a hero of mine for 15, 20 years in Canada. He's a hero in our country. And if that is the case, that he's being let go, it makes me very upset.
Wow.
Because he's extremely special. And I love the dude. So
he's like your Danielle Bergoli to me.
More than that. Man.
More than that,
Yeah,
really?
Way more than that.
Wow,
man.
that's almost hard for me to imagine.
So
is it possible for someone to love someone more than I love Danielle Bergoli? I guess it is.
And so nobody tells us shit. We don't know what's going on. And if that's the case, if he's going to, it makes me very upset. Am I going to say, no, I'm not. This is I do a show with Pete. I'm very thankful and honored to sit beside him twice a day, and nothing's changing for us.
I'm reading comments from David Stewart now. Well, more comments coming in about Mariota.
What is he saying?
Is he saying Mariota runs a lot and dinks and dunks, so is arm that huge of a factor?
It is, because if he can't feel his hand, then he's not going to play. Like, he's not, they're going to pull him out. How is he supposed to hand off the ball? Certain things, it's just not going to happen. So
okay, and let's end the show on this comment from Nate Pereira. Love you guys. You were right. That fat ass Embiid was stuffed with turkey.
Yeah.
Great call, Jimmy the Bag. Great read on that game. Jimmy the Bag just came in and said, look, Embiid's going to be, he's a fat ass who's going to be stuffed with turkey.
Well,
so I'm taking
a fat ass.
I mean, in so many words. Okay. And he said, I'm taking the cab first quarter. Bam, nailed it. Great call, Jimmy the Bag. We'll be back at 6 o'clock Eastern time, everyone.